Okay, so I'm on vacation, but I still wanted to make a video while I was out, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about how I could potentially make $100 a week selling covered calls on Sofi, and what we'd have to do to make that a reality. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, that way you don't miss any videos in the future. I've been documenting on YouTube now for quite some time, me trying to sell some options for some extra income. So follow along if you choose to. And I went ahead and I asked ChatGPT what it thought we need to do in order to make $100 per month selling covered calls. And as a refresher, if you're wondering what a covered call is, it's creating a contract with someone else saying, hey, I'll sell you 100 shares of this underlying stock, in our case SoFi, if it reaches a certain price by a certain date. And for you creating that contract, you get paid money called premium. And this money hits your account instantly whenever you sell your option, and you can do with it whatever you please. And sometimes the option expires worthless. If you're wanting to generate income, that's what you hope for. And sometimes it might expire in the money, and you have to sell 100 shares at the agreed upon price, which we'll look at some examples here in a bit. But ChatGPT was using some pretty old SoFi pricing at $7.50, and they give you some examples. They say, well, let's say it's at $7.50 and we sell an $8 strike covered call. That's 1 week out in expiration. And this one gives us $15 per contract. Well, then we would need 7 contracts total. Thus, we would need 700 shares. Now, if we played a little more conservative and it's at $7.50 and we sell an $8.50 strike, getting us $10 per contract, then we need 10 contracts total for $100 a week, and this would be 1,000 shares that would be required to do this. So we're going to look at a couple different ways that we could pull this off. One with shorter expirations, maybe just a week out, and then one with multiple weeks out, maybe even a month out in expiration. So if we hop on over to Robinhood and I look at SoFi, which I currently hold 4,327 shares at a price of $12.42 average per share. If I went with what ChatGPT was saying, even with their more conservative route of 1,000 shares needed, I could make potentially $400 a week selling covered calls on SoFi. So let's go ahead and look at SoFi options. This is Sunday when I'm recording this, so nothing is going on pricing wise until tomorrow. But if we go to sell a call that expires in 5 days, right now, SoFi is sitting at $12.11. And since we're not really wanting to sell SoFi shares, we're really just looking to do this to generate some income, I would look at potentially this $13 strike because it has an 84% chance that it's going to expire completely worthless, meaning that the price of SoFi has an 84% chance that it's going to be under $13 a share come Friday when this expires. Any premium I got, the $11 here, I would still keep. I get regardless when I sell this option, but I don't have to worry about selling the shares because it never passed $13 a share. If you wanted to be even more conservative, 91% chance that's going to be below $13.50, but we would only get $5 in premium with that one. So I think this is the sweet spot. This one's a little bit too risky, even though it is 74% chance. SoFi has been very volatile lately, especially with the entire market. So I personally would feel more comfortable with this. So if we did this option right here, how many shares would we need? Well, this expires in 1 week, so it'd be $100 per week divided by the $11 that we would need, which is about 900 shares, which is 9 option contracts that we would need to sell, which then equates to 900 shares of SoFi that we would need. And if we did this, we'd have to look each week at selling new options. If I wanted to, though, I could go out in expiration. Let's look 2 weeks out. And in this case, maybe I still go with the $13 strike. And this time it's paying $26 in premium per contract. So if we went with this one, yes, it is a little more risky because the one before that we were looking at was an 80-some% chance of it expiring worthless. This one's only about 79. And since this is 2 weeks out, it would be $200 total, right? 100 per week divided by the $26 in premium that we would get from selling each option. And this would only be, well, we'd have to round up, so 8 contracts total. You can't do half of a contract or 0.69 of a contract. So we'd actually get more than 200 bucks because it would be 8 total contracts, and therefore 800 shares of SoFi, so we wouldn't have as many shares that we need to use as collateral up front. So 800 times 26 divided by 100 is actually $208. So we'd make $8 more than the required 200 that we would need to make 100 a week. Let's say we're really not wanting to put much effort into this. Let's go 4 weeks out. And here I can sell a $36 strike, an 80% chance of it expiring worthless. This is 4 weeks out, so we would have to have $400 generated to make it 100 a week, divided by the $36 in premium. And this is the highest amount that we would need yet. We would need to get the full amount, we would need to round up again because we can't do 0.1 of contract. 1,200 shares of SoFi, but there would be less work because this is 4 weeks out. So really, if you're thinking about doing this with, either SoFi or maybe a stock of your choosing, I would recommend looking at different expiration dates and playing around with the numbers and seeing the chance of profitability. What's the delta? Which one are you more comfortable with selling calls on? Because in the end, we are just trying to generate income. I'm not specifically wanting to sell my shares of SoFi. But really, it looks like with 900 shares, we could make $100 a week selling covered calls on SoFi. And in my case, if I did it times 4, because I have more than 900 shares, I have, more than 4 times that actually, I could make 400 a week if I just stuck with this times 52 weeks in a year. That's an extra 20 grand from doing this if I chose to. Now, of course, it's not going to be all smooth sailing. There's going to be weeks where, SoFi does go up, and we might have to roll our options. And if you're wondering what that is, go check out some other videos I have, or you could check out the course below. It's for beginners, and you could take a look at that. I thought this would be a fun idea to see how many shares do I need to make an extra $100 a week, which is not insignificant. Thank you for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in a future one.